News coming in about HHS Secretary RFK Jr. He wants to make America healthy again. Here's what he's trying to do. He's moving to shut down a very bad FDA program loaded with loopholes. Watchdogs say the food industry has abused it to let in toxic chemicals into the U.S. food supply. Let's bring in the wellness company's chief scientific officer, Dr. Peter McCullough. Doctor, it's great to have you on. So this loophole, what do you make of this? It's called a generally recognized as safe loophole, where the food and chemicals industry sign off and approve on their own chemicals that are in our food?
Right. So RFK is talking about this designation, GRAS, generally recognized as safe. And when a company in the future introduces a new food additive, there would need to be an expert panel, a review of the data, and evidence that indeed it's safe before it's brought into the food supply.
So we're talking potentially 10,000 ingredients that's in the U.S. food supply that Europe does not allow. Europe only allows something like 400 of them that are now in our food supply. We're going to show the list of the chemicals. So can he get them out of the food supply?
Well, initially, the proposal would handle new things that are added, and then there would need to be basically a tiered evidence review. What we don't want to see happen is what happened with red dye number 3, which is erythrocin, where it gets in the market in the food supply, and then later on it's found to be linked to cancer and then pulled off the market.
I mean, how is this allowed to happen that they can just sign off and approve without telling the public, without telling anybody about the chemicals that are in the food supply? We know that RFK Jr. told food companies to take out these artificial dyes at a closed-door gathering in Washington with the CEOs of Kellogg's, Smucker's, and General Mills. Again, I mean, this is really scary stuff. Can you talk to the viewer about why these chemicals are dangerous and how they affect the human body?
Previously, it had been left up to the company's discretion of whether or not they pull into a panel to review a new ingredient in food. But, chemicals derived from petroleum products like, very colorful food dyes and others, over a long-term exposure to humans could potentially have adverse effects. How do we find that out? Is by doing animal experiments at higher doses and shorter exposures to see if there's a signal. And in fact, that's what's happened.
That's awful for those experiments to happen. So you're talking what kind of illnesses? Final word.
The biggest concern is the development long-term of cancer.
Got it. Dr. Peter McCullough, this is terrible stuff. RFK Jr. is trying to stop it, and so is the president. Thank you so much for watching.